What's up, you crackers? It's December, and you know what that means. It's time for another Top 10 list video. So today, Champion Chet is back again to show you the top 10 video games of, Is it top 10 of the year? What year is it? The top 10 of the decade? Is it even the end of the decade yet? Oh, I know. This is the top.
Number one is Battlefield Hardline, and the reason why I picked Battlefield Hardline today is because Battlefield Hardline is just the only cops and robbers shooter I think ever made, and to me that really hits a place of nostalgia, because that was my favorite game to play on the playground, and I'm glad that someone finally made a multiplayer version of which you could play online with your friends. You could live like entire countries away, and you could still get that familiar sense of wanting to arrest your friends and shoot them in the head because you were a kid, you got violent urges and violent tendencies. I think Minecraft also did a good job of this because it's cops and robbers style mode, community mods and such. This is a very special type of game in my head. So I'm glad that I don't think DICE made this, but at the end of the day, I'd love to see this return, and I hope that me putting it at number 10 shows you that there's some good games coming up. Because this, when I think of Battlefield, I don't think of large scale, tanks and blown up buildings and shit. I think of just wanting to rob a bank with the buds. Alright, number 9, we got Flipnote Studio. So, as a kid, I didn't really have YouTube, but what I did have was a 3DS, which I could connect to the internet, thankfully. And it took me a while to figure out how to do that. It took me a good 2 years, but eventually, at the age of 13, I got my 3DS all hooked up, and I was able to download this cool little gizmo, this little gadget on there called Flipnote Studio, which connected to the internet. You could browse the Hatena service, which allows you to see other people's animations and drawings, which you could use with any audio you record at all, and just make a little. You can make stick figures, you can make pixel art, you can make anything, bro. And you could show people, anyone who on the service, and they could share it. I think you could remix it, is what they call it, or you could add stars to it. Which I never knew how to do that. I never really had that ability. I don't know why. I think maybe there was some secret club I wasn't in, but it was very much the currency. Like, if you had a lot of stars, people knew, like, oh yeah, this guy's top shit, this guy's top dog, and you really couldn't be messed with. And this, I feel like this service opened the doors for a lot of today's animators and graphic designers. People like Jade Animations, Odd Ones Out, and Agent Red Girl, just to name a few. But yeah, and these videos are classics. I could walk on water, I could fly, chicken wing song, Food Criminal with Mario. I Ain't Got No iPhone. The two like smiling Rage Comics. I think they're Rage Comics. Little dudes in the car moving their heads. The drop kick, Scatman, all classics. Now I didn't really know that most of these were YouTube videos because again I didn't have YouTube yet. But oh boy, was this good enough for me? It's all I needed. Obviously, today's kids just don't understand. You know what. Moving on, guys. Moving on. This is getting too long. All right, number 8 is Spider-Man 2, the movie tie-in game for, of course, the second Spider-Man movie, which came out like 2002, 3. I don't really know, but yeah, I probably didn't play it until years after it came out. But I did play it, the PS2 version, and it was revolutionary, man. It was the best Spider-Man game. Some would say the second best Spider-Man game now, which is doing it. It's a pretty good place considering there's been like a billion of them, but most of them don't play good. Most of them are shit, except for maybe the newer ones. Maybe the Ultimate Spider-Man game, which I love. Ultimate Spider-Man. It's a good series. The show sucks ass. It sucks so much ass. But the comic run is really good. Some would say the best. Honestly, it's my favorite comic run of all time. But we're not talking about that today. We're talking about Spider-Man 2, based off of the Sam Raimi movie, the second installment, and ripoff of ultimately James Cameron's script. Which weird how much of that ended up actually just being molded into anyway we're not going to get into that, but Sam Raimi is a really good director, and this game has some of the most awkward, emotionless dialogue and weird uncanny valley character models for the cutscenes that don't look at all like the game. But hey, it was cool getting some cinematic scenes, and it really added a lot to the story. Like a lot of villains that really bridge the gap between the first movie and the third movie, you know? We got the Shocker, we got Black Cat. Any Black Cat fans? I'm sure there are. And the Rhino. We got a lot of them. Oh yeah, the Mysterio makes his appearance. I'm sure a lot of people were hoping for Mysterio somewhere later down the line. Maybe they will. I know that the third game sucked ass, and the first one was god awful. But this one right here, right in the middle, took the cake for the best Spider-Man game for a long time. Remember that scene where that woman got clobbered by that robber, that man with the briefcase? That's funny. That's one of the best. That's one of my top 10 funniest moments in any video game. Should I make that list next? I don't know. But all right, guys. I've been rambling a little bit too long for this one. Spider-Man 2. Let's move on. Number 7, GTA 6. We thought it couldn't be done. We thought there's no way they could top it. We thought it would be years in the making, decades even. No information or a trailer had been put out. But suddenly, a week before launch, GTA 6 graced us. Franklin's back, and he's a fucking boss. He's the big boss. He's got his own. He's a CEO of a big company. Lamar's here. All the crazy. Well, not all the crazy characters. It's pretty much just Lamar. And a reference to Michael. But this is the sequel we were all waiting for. You know, the big plot. Dr. Dre lost his phone in Cayo Perico. And he had some of the sickest beats ever made on there. Unreleased tracks. And it's up to you to track down the motherfucker who stole it and kill him. You know? And there's some laughs along the way. There's definitely a lot of killing. You know, a lot of illegal activity. This wouldn't be a Grand Theft Auto game without a little bit of car chasing, car thieving, and all around good times to be had. They did a lot graphically that I wouldn't really expect. It's on the same engine, which a lot of people are like, well, that's a little disappointing. But at the end of the day, there's a lot more content in here than any game will ever be able to match up to. This right here is a perfect installment that went above and beyond anyone's expectations. Los Santos is bigger than ever, and Franklin is killing it. Yeah, Chop's like on his last leg, but him and Lamar are definitely. This is Franklin at his absolute best, and he's the most deserving of one of the best protagonists in any video game, bar none, this year. GTA 6 is the game everyone.
Number 6, Far Cry 6.
I think this might be the best single-player game to come out this year. Now, I know what you're going to say. There wasn't really a lot of screen time for the big bad guy. You know, the guy who was in all the promotional material, the Chicken Man, we need to cook chicken. You know, like he wasn't really there that much. But what they fall short on in overall plot and interest in the story at all, they knock out of the park with some of the most interesting combat mechanics and realistic gun animations and overall mechanics. This is Far Cry at its absolute best. And it's probably going to be a long time before we see anything like this ever again. You know, this is a once-in-a-lifetime single-player experience, a special occasion that really just left me in awe. Sometimes I would just start shooting random objects and random scenery and just looking at the beautiful, just looking at everything. You know, that's really what this game is. It's just you just want to look at it. You know, you don't even really want to play it. It's like playing you, kind of. This game is kind of playing you. And I, for one, am a huge fan of games that really just want you to be immersed in the scenery, you know, and take you away somewhere else. I haven't beaten it. I've only really played maybe an hour of it, but I mean, come on. That's all you really need. Play Far Cry 6, and you'll never want to play another video game, except for the next 5 that are on here. These ones are pretty good. These are maybe even better. Let's move on. Now, number 5 is Hand Simulator and Chair Fucking Simulator. Now, these two games, I really just couldn't pick one over the other. So I thought, why not just combine them so I have more room for some other games that just replace here. So maybe Battlefield Hardline might not have made the list even if it wasn't for Hand Simulator and Chair Fucking Simulator sharing a spot here. Because these two really are, just hand in hand, some of the best Steam specific titles that I played. Hand Simulator is just something you can plug in and play for probably a perpetual amount of hours. It's just a lot of fun. It takes a lot of skill to get this down, and it really wrapped me in and forced me to learn, you know, to invest myself in getting around this game, because it is a very difficult game, but the skill of it, you know, it's the learning curve that makes you interested. And eventually I did shoot a gun in this game. I know that that's the thing that everyone's been trying to do for the months that this has been out, and I was able to do it, and I documented it. I got the best run, the best any percent run for shooting a gun in Hand Simulator. So there we go. I mean, I don't mean to brag or anything, but that's like the biggest accomplishment I've had this year, and I'm so glad to have had that experience. But with that is also Chair fucking Simulator, which gave me some of the most aggravatingly tough playthroughs of a game I've ever had, because this game really does mess with you. It fucks your brain, and I think that experience is one of the most unique experiences a game can give me. Is whether or not I'm gonna put this down or I'm gonna play it for the next 6 hours. Because realistically, this game taught me how to. It gave me patience. It really did give me patience, and I couldn't. I can't say that I didn't invest my time. You know, it's got a ginormous cast of characters that really, I don't know, they just dance through the screen, and they keep me coming back. Yeah, Chair fucking Simulator. What can I say? Like, the story, it didn't make sense. I don't think that's a fault of the director or the writer. It's definitely something that comes from my inability that makes me want to maybe invest a little bit more time and figure stuff out. So yeah, Chair fucking Simulator and Hand Simulator really tested me, you know. But anyway, let's move on to the next two. The next two on the list are something a little bit more for relaxing, not so much for testing the brain. So let's move on. Number 2, House Flipper. What can I say about this game? I mean, we've all been playing it since it launched, right? Maybe not every day. Maybe we've been jumping back in every three months and going to town again. I mean, that's what I've been doing, at least. You know, I take a little break. I move on. I try to get like the rest of the games out of the year because I know I need to get those reviews. But then when I come back, I am just as invested as I was before. House Flipper is the most relaxing game ever. Honestly, it's the most sit down and lose track of time game. This game saved me from moving out and buying a house. It saved me from going into financial ruin. Because I realized I'll never need to find anywhere to live. I don't have to live anywhere. This is in my eyes a 1-to-1 for living in a house and renovating and making it your own. I'll never need to do that in real life. This is like as good as it gets, you know. It really replaces that feeling in my head of making something homey, and honestly, I can't thank the developers enough for that, because House Flipper is, in my eyes, the best house flipping game. I mean, it's there's no knockoff of this that's gonna make you feel anywhere as much serotonin. You know, this is the serotonin stimulant. You know, this is a little shot to the brain that nothing can ever replace. You know, and that's, in my eyes, why this is a number one most addicting game. No, okay, no, it's not. No, it's not. This is the best. What am I going to say about House Flipper? This is it. You know, if you're looking for a game to help you from, you know, moving out and starting a family and finding a place in maybe like the countryside that you know, maybe the missus or the mister is like, we really just need to get out of town and find a place that is us. and we could spend time just making the most of our making a home for ourselves. Well, this is better than that. This is way better. You tell that fucking bitch that this is all you need. I got House Flipper. Why would I ever need a home when I could get a house and sell it to like a bald man who wants like 4 bedrooms and just a bookshelf somewhere? Like, this is better than any rent. You don't need to renovate. You don't need to become a salesman. This is okay. Honestly, I'll be honest with you. If you're looking to become a realtor, this is probably the only. This is the only teaching you need. This is the only sort of lessons or what's the word? This is the only certification you need to become a realtor. Just buy House Flipper and you're good to go. I mean, I can't make it any simpler here. This is it. This is what you need. Buy House Flipper. It's not that much. Let's see. It was probably like $10 for the base game. Maybe a couple, maybe like 50 for every DLC or whatever. But it's fine. It's worth it. It's worth it. I wouldn't be talking to you if it wasn't worth it. You know, the outside DLC, the garden DLC, there's other ones. I'm sure there's other ones. There's not just one. But you gotta look it up because I can't be fucked to look at it right now. I'm gonna be honest. But I've definitely played them. I'll give you that. I've sold every house in the game, and I'm thinking about becoming a realtor myself. You know, I'm something of a realtor myself. So yeah, take that with a grain of salt, and I hope it helps you out. But let's move on to number one. Number one, League of Legends. I know this was no surprise to any of you, but I did exactly what I was feeling, you know? This is my list, and I know that a lot of people have the same opinion, but if I'm going to change my opinion just because it's the majority vote, then it's not my opinion, you know? Then it's me going against my own thoughts, and I'm going to stick with it. They wouldn't be one of the top... Well, this wouldn't have the largest player base in the world if it wasn't because it deserves it, or because people are playing out of like a desperation or a FOMO or some sort of like addictive chemical that's like forcing them to hate play. There's nothing like that. I'm not even smart enough to really come up with some sort of allegory here. I really should have just written a script for this. League of Legends is the most addicting game ever, and I'm proud to say that it's got me hooked. You know, all these little characters. All these characters are so full of life and mystery. And they really get me captivated, you know. And every time I boot it up, all I can think of is, what unique experience am I going to get into today? What's going to happen that is going to make me go, wow, I've never even seen that yet. Out of the years and years I've dedicated to playing this game, I haven't even seen this happen once. It's a new experience every time. And that's why it's number one. You know, all these battle royales out there, all these MOBAs are like, it's a new experience every time. It's the most replayable experience, you know. Our game's free. And, well, this game is free. But it's so much more enjoyable and so much more fulfilling at the end of the day than most of these other cookie cutter bullshit fucking patronizing little copy paste pieces of shit games, you know, giving you the same thing as everyone else, unoptimized, unsupported, with some of the worst communities ever. You know, like other games just don't know how to give you what you want. But League of Legends is the perfect fit. You know, it's what the game I've spent the most time on. And you know, at the end of the day, it just doesn't get any cheddar than this. So I'm going on to the Rift. Maybe I'll see you there. This was the top 10 video games of... See you next time.